TEP production. Giving out instruction. I just keep it intact, this is a fact, right and exact, I won't step back. Admiration is the feeling that inspires your brain to make you gain self-knowledge, not go insane. I'm Satan's antagonist, acknowledge what I speak. I cannot be duplicated cause I'm born unique. Brother Kareem told me if I want it, I gotta take it. Kareem told me if we need it, we gotta make it. Nasir just said stand up and be a man. You're planning to fail if you fail to plan. Keep your circle tight, know your plight, fight with all your might. Study hard, stay in shape and everything will be alright.
This beat is slapping, before I make it happen I just wanna ask, may I rise higher with fire, made brighter than May, sharp lines, may climb and rhyme and may timing like sirens, may my thoughts may spray as I sway, may play with the day, may each bar may spark from the dark, may making the arc, may I shift, may gifted with riffs, may lifted no myth, may move clean, smooth in between, may carving out the scene, may words guide, mind glide as the tide, may ride on the inside, may minds free, may deep in the key, may shape in the sea, may I shine, may prime in my rhyme, may throw in the sign, may break norms, may storms in the red form, may lightning is born.
Let's go.
I don't know how I got here. I just know I'm never going back. Just when I thought things were already crazy, it gets worse.
I'm back.
Quan?
Sapphire struggles to deal with her husband's alleged betrayal and coming to terms with Quan being alive after thinking he was deceased. Devante tries to keep a level head while dealing with family issues and unexpected disloyalty. Memories of Dre enters Devante's life in a way that he would have never imagined.
Fire Part 2, the finale. Get your copy of Fire. It's definitely a must-read. If you enjoy hood books, this one is it. Just like the title of the book, it's officially Fire. Get it on Amazon, paperback or Kindle.
Peace. This is the Enemy's Public, and I am Bro.Nasir. I hope that everyone's enjoying their Sunday morning. This morning, I want to cover the subject of lawlessness and disorder. Before I get started, I'm going to play a few music selections. I have a video presentation, but I want to talk about, for a few moments, what is law, what types of law, case law, judiciary law, federal law. Peace to my brother P. Moses. Thanks for tapping in. But before I get started, I want to play a few music selections. Then we're going to get into the subject matter of lawlessness and disorder, because it seems to be the order of the day: lawlessness and disorder. Now, we're going to start with my artist, Neither Party Is Mine, because some of our people in particular, and people who are into politics, because we say that we disagree with one political party, Just for example, if I'm critical of Donald Trump and what he's doing, some people are so into politics that they will automatically put me in the other political party just because I disagree with a particular party. They'll put me in the other one. And what I always say to those who attempt to do that, I'll just tell them, neither party is mine.
Neither party is mine. That's the jackass.
You need to get out and vote today.
The party is mine. I don't pledge to a brand, red ties, blue lies, same blood on their hands. They sell hope in the slogan. Trade fear for a vote, then ghost when the cameras cut the mics in the smoke. Lobbyist tongues got a choke hold tight. Bought pens, signed laws in the dead of the night. They scream pick a side, trying to split the block while our rent keep rising and wages don't talk. Pledge allegiance to donors, not the people in line. We're a checkbox harvest every 4-year grind. They promise roads paved with a future so bright. They fund another war while the schools lose lights. Neither party is mine. Jackass or the elephant eye. Two wings of the same bird, circling power and law. Left pocket, right pocket, both all in mine. I don't drink red or blue, I sip truth with my spine. They arguing colors while they auction our choice. Sold to the highest bidders, then they silence our voice. They parade like saviors, wave flags in our face while trade our pensions for a seat in a place. Healthcare or a hustle, education a fee. Prisons quotas climbing like it's GDP. They put neighbor against neighbor, keep our culture at war. Making sure nobody's watching when they kick in the door. Yeah. Freedom gets branded, the truth gets spun. We get hashtags and thoughts, they get stacks in a gun. Debate sound tough, but the policy's thin. They shadow box ghosts while the court cashes in. Neither party is mine. I don't pledge to a brand, red ties, blue lies, same blood on their hands. They sell hope in the slogan. Trade fear for a vote, then ghosts when the cameras cut the mics in the smoke. Lobbyist tongues got a choke hold tight. Bought pens, signed laws in the dead of the night. They scream pick a side, trying to split the block while our rent keep rising and wages don't talk. Pledge allegiance to donors, not the people in line. We're a checkbox harvest every 4-year grind. The party is mine.
And that's what I consider those who go to the polls. They are a check box harvest every 4-year grind to these politicians because they harvest our votes. You don't see them after they get the office. You only see them when they want something for us. You know, when they come around, it can be somebody you never seen it before. But when they want an office, they want a position, and it's usually a position over the people. They don't come in and work on a grassroots level with us. They come and they ask us for something. And the ignorant among our people put their trust in a politician. In my adult years, you know, being of the voting age, I've never seen someone on the executive branch like above the mayor of my city who I thought I would go out in November and cast a vote for them. Only one person, and I knew him personally, you know, good brother. The only person I ever thought that I would cast a vote for. First, he was a benevolent brother who brought peace to our community, who cared about the people of our community, still here to this very moment, never left. Lifelong resident, still here doing the same thing he's been doing since I've known him, advocating for our people, trying to maintain and establish things for our people. But our people will wear you out. They will wear you out. But this brother has been steadfast with his advocacy for our people. And that's the only brother or person that I've ever casted a vote for. That's it. But now we're going to go to my brother Dre Cobbs, Truth Serum. We'll play a few songs and then we're going to get into the subject matter.
As I search my pedal gland, take me back to the Moorish man who praised the sun for bringing food to the land. Where they built castles by hand, where they brung the knowledge from this Babylonian sand. Was it all a part of the universe's plan? Was to bring the ice age to turn the dark-skinned man into the Caucasian man. He stepped out the cave, he restricted his melanated skin. Just listen, let the lessons begin. Yo, I'm back around the way. They say, nigga, where you been? I said I went back in time, had to untrap my mind. I see now to what was blind. I left religion behind. I felt like they used that tool to bind. So my truth has been redefined. My brother is God and a God of mine coming from the shy. Got the 20/20 vision with the horror side. Speak the truth until I'm mummified and my soul ascends to the sky. Don't let my words be set aside. Release them to my people worldwide. Knowledge is power. I live by love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Yo, you can't fuck with me in the physical. Even if I was reduced to minerals, I return from the afterlife with knowledge for the people. Unshackle your mind, I'm here to free you. I come from my Anunnaki experiment, builder with pyramids, hieroglyphic lyricist. That's how I know my style is unlimited, knowledge is infinite, landed the indigenous. And you call my ancestors immigrants, they don't tell you about the dark-skinned Indians. Mother is a Mississippian, descendant of farmers and cotton pickers in the hood. All you see is food and liquor. You go to church on Sunday, the night before you were born again sinner. You can survive anything, even a Chicago winter. You don't believe my truth? Here's my middle finger, a poet and free thinker. Black on black, nah, that's just the gods that I don't clap at them, hold the applause. We should all be on one squad, link up in midnight maraud on a system that's flawed, and the politicians are fraud. Chicago, the city of gods.
Yes, sir. Now we're going to go to the Comrade Greedy, a throwback.
Don't do it. Official Dub G. Basement music. Smoking a poet. Shout to Shell. Ali Hussein. Kizia. Big Mizzy. Love. Yeah. Yep. And I'm feeling it. Listen, money I'm getting, comfy I'm sitting. I ain't stressing over shit, I ain't the one to be tripping. Spray candy on the whip, in the sun to be dripping. When I feel it, I pull it out. I don't come in the kit. Put in work and get paid for that work put in. I take a shot like that perp again. Take it slow, these youngers just make it rain. But dongles make it snow, these youngers just get it wet. Dongles make it flow, you ain't know or even heard how a Dub G roll. Don't get sick and catch that Dub G cold. The shit's potent everywhere a nigga go. I can blend with the people, no matter how rich. I blend as an equal. I'm a G in the back, sitting low off the back of some pop. A thug nigga, I was bred to be sharp. Yeah, I'm hard, feel a nigga on the come up like every day, all day. The same young nigga that was pumping in the hallway. The same young nigga that fronted and made them all pay. The same young nigga with greenery on his entree. I got it. Yep, Dub G. Okay, dongles.
I used to kick it with the knuckleheads till I met the wise guys, picture frame perfect. Now I got my eyes wide focused on my mentals while I'm burning instrumentals. These niggas can't comprehend the type of Jews that I be into. Headed up north, smoking divas in the rentals. T was back home, just to say, doing what men do. This game we either disregard or omit you. So will you make it or go out empty in your pistols? I'm dealing with these issues, trying to keep my shit official, but I came up prepared like a ref without a whistle. But I'm a man, so I stay tall like a giant. Won't fall to the lions. We call my defiance. Luckily, the streets kept me groomed to the violence.
Yo, that was fire right there. That's fire. Now we're going to go to Mayhem and Satan Antagonist.
His circle is small but solid. Every person in it has earned their place.
Not for kids. Listen, I was raised as a boy by a grown man. Learned early, you don't joke on a closed hand. Unc said, son, every smile ain't a friend. Some laughs led the lines, you can't bend back again. Cold talk, don't play or be played with. If you ain't ready for the smoke, don't say it where I'm from. You press the wrong nerve, that's war. Stand on words, or don't speak, that's law. You online, typing tough in the chat box. In real life, you a foe from a small shock. You call it trolling, like that make it all right. Till a man feel tried and he come for your whole life. We don't push buttons, all men we respect. We talk straight, or we step, that's correct. If you ain't ready for the weight when it land, keep my name off your lips, be a boy, I'm a man. I'm just trolling, that's a weak man's prayer. Say it to my face, you won't dare. I was raised on the code, don't play there. Don't play with a man that don't play there. I was just joking, cross that line, buttons on the man, you wasting time. Men don't test men like some cheap dare. My man got a code, and we keep that. Look, a woman push buttons, she testing my call. My endurance, my patience, what I'm built for. She might poke, she might press, cause she feel me. Still my queen, I'm protected if it kill me. Her words cut, I breathe, keep composure. She deserves grace, even when it's all over. She got crown energy, even in the rage. She can hit my prime, still she never leave the stage. But you a grown boy, chatting like a child. Smirking on the screen, trying to get a man riled. Then you hide behind memes and a fake laugh. I was just playing, bro. That ain't mancraft, you ain't built for the echo of what you say. You ain't ready for the price that a man pays. So when you speak, better mean every line. If you can't stand in that fire, stay offline. I was just trolling, that's a weak man's prayer. Say it to my face, you won't dare. I was raised on a code, don't play there. Don't play with a man that don't play there. I was just joking, you crossed that line. Buttons on the man, you wasting time. Men don't test men like some cheap dare. A man got a code, and we keep that. I don't push buttons, I give warnings. I don't start storms, I bring warnings. I was taught, be straight, never sneak war. If I'm at your door, you knew what it's for, so keep I was trolling. Out your grown mouth, or deal with the truth that you spoke about. I was just trolling, that's a weak man's prayer. Say it to my face, you won't dare. I was raised on a code, don't play there. Don't play with a man that don't play there. I was just joking, you crossed that line. Buttons on the man, you wasting time. Men don't test men like some cheap dare. A man got a code, and we keep that.
A man with no friends or a small circle, that's a man you don't mess with. He's learned the hard way that loyalty is rare.
We're gonna get into my brother Voodoo Child. It's a song that resonates with me. The state of hip hop music, entertaining in its entirety. The atmosphere and what's going on in entertainment. It's way too far. Way too far. Pardon me a second.
When the fuck is you hustling with these grams, man? I know it's okay. All on my face with the fake smile, yeah, you can't get no dab. I got niggas that are shooters, all in your head like a nap. Hop on the scene with them 2, 2, 3s and edit bitch out. No games, man, yeah, I got no time for this shit. I be the one to blame, so please don't you make me click. Hit the block like a march, yeah, it's like a parade. Drunk sound and you ducking and hiding, nigga. Better cover your face.
Hip hop used to be so hard. Now they dressing funny, driving fancy cars. Hoes used to be hoes, but now they stars. Man, I swear this shit done went way too far. Way too far, way too far, way too far, way too far. way too far, way too far, way too far. Niggas still killing niggas. Pay your partner to hit ya. Hoes still fucking with niggas. Never raising their children. Cluckers still paying deals. Trying to catch them a feeling. I know a bunch of people who ain't never gonna have that. Pants way up their leg. Crazy colors in their head. Mumbling rapping shit. Make a nigga say what he said. I know you think I'm tripping. This boy going fed. But I'm just telling you some of the things bouncing in my head. Hip hop used to be so hard. Now they dressing funny, driving fancy cars. Hoes used to be hoes, but now they stars. Man, that's where the shit that went way too far. Way too far, 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 way too far. Man, y'all got an old nigga singing and sweating in the booth trying to get this shit heard. Way too far. Bump your brakes, partner.
Two more. We got Mayday, Truth in the Booth. With intellect, not a goof.
It's a marathon of mind over matter, stay steady. If you're looking for the top, then you better stay ready. I don't stumble on the ego, I don't trip on the pride. I just open up the gate and I let the truth slide. From the soul to the speaker, from the heart to the street. I'm the rhythm vibration that you feel in your feet. No gimmicks in the wake-up call that forces every person to think. TEP on the rise, watch the vision get clearer. I'm the only competition when I look in the mirror. Spitting the mirror to the end, yeah, I said it before. I'm the labor of a legend and I'm coming for more. I'm the truth in the booth, with intellect, not a goof. Live and direct, I'm the living, breathing proof. The wrong I correct, my presence alone demands respect. TEP and MAED ain't got nothing left to inspect. I'm the truth in the booth, with intellect, not a goof. Live and direct, I'm the living, breathing proof.
TEP production.
Now we got my brother, Looney Tunes, My Pain. Then we're going to get into it.
Right now, nigga. Right now, nigga. Right now. Slow forever, nigga. Cold roll forever, nigga. Stop working the cold. Stop working the cold. DJ Confidence in this bitch, nigga. Norman versus Sky. I'm on the other side of the game. I can't complain. All that fake ass love, you got me fucked up. So keep that shit short. Ain't no conversation. I see it in your face. Yeah, you niggas hate me. Get together, talk about me. That's the only plot against me. Fuck that nigga. Might not hear it, but I see you. Sit back and light a blunt. Watch they fake ass stunt. I'm still hollering cold raw. I'm forever creep slow. Say I'm 40 and I'm still rapping. Big gift of the gab. Funny how niggas switch up. I call it rehab. Yeah, I smoke. Yeah, I drink. Fake love ain't no love. My nigga, what you think?
and been weak, can't make that shit public. I let you in my life, without thinking twice, I'm on my Now bitch, I'm cold as ice.
I like that. That's fire. That's fire. Feeling that. Now we're going to get into the subject matter of lawlessness and disorder. Salute to all the artists. Now we're going to get into what is lawlessness, or what is law first. Now, what is law? Law is a system of rules. Okay? A system of rules created and enforced by government or social institutions to regulate behavior, maintain order, and resolve disputes, often carrying penalties for violations. It serves to foster peaceful coexistence with major types, including civil, criminal, procedural, and substantive law. Sources include constitutions, statutes, and judicial precedents. Now, I'm going to pause right there because we are in a society now that is lawless, all the way up to the executive branch. We have hypocrites that have come before us and tell us that we should resolve disputes peacefully. When we see the example that they set, it's nothing like they say we should just, resolve conflicts. We have people in the executive branch of government who are anything but lawful. Lawlessness and the agents of chaos for the most part. Now, sources of laws includes constitutions, statutes, and judicial precedents. The type of laws deals with disputes between individuals or organizations, such as contracts, property, or torts, often involving monetary matters. Criminal law involves actions forbidden by the government that can lead to arrest and prosecution. Now, again, where's the example that this government set that we should be following? I don't see any examples. Now, the laws that are forbidden by government that can lead to arrest and prosecution are such as theft, or violent crimes. Now, substantive law defines the rights and duties of individuals, setting rules for behavior. Procedural law outlines the methods and rules for enforcing substantive law and conducting legal proceedings, meaning that there's certain rules that they have to follow to sustain and proceed with justice, which is a reward or penalty. Common law, a system based on judicial decision and precedents, rather than just written statutes. Like common law marriage. If a couple been together for a certain amount of years, they are common law married. Now, civil law system, distinct from civil law, refers to systems like Japan's, which rely heavily on written codes rather than court precedents. Purpose of law is regulating conduct, dictating how to act and maintain order. Dictating how to act and maintain order. When we have people in the executive branch who don't know how to act, and they are disorderly themselves, we have chaos. That's what we have. We have chaos. Now, dispute resolution is providing a structured, peaceful way to resolve disagreements. Now, on a global scale, we have the nation is in war with Iran because it was some underhanded things going on, like negotiations. And can you imagine if you have a dispute with someone, or you and this person is trying to work out your differences, and all of a sudden that person punch you in the face while you're talking? That's what happened when Iran was attacked by the United States and Israel. Now, to protect our rights, that's another facet of law, protecting rights, ensuring fairness and protecting the rights of individuals, minorities, often under the rule of law. Again, all I see and ever seen in this society are a bunch of hypocrites. These laws were written to keep the people in order, it seems to me, because I don't see anyone from the executive branch all the way down to the municipal obeying laws. They all feel like they're supposed to enforce a law that don't apply to them. That's their sentiment. Even down to municipal, which are the police. They don't think the law applied to them. And they don't care anything about the law because they mostly enforce policies. Now, enforcing compliance, imposing penalties for violating rules, ensuring societal stability. I don't see stability in this society. I see lawlessness and disorder. Now, the sources of law, constitutions, for example, the supreme law of a nation. Example, the United States Constitution. Now, under that, sources of law, you have statutes. Laws passed by legislative bodies. That's how laws are passed. You have to go through the legislative branch of government. That's how laws are passed. Again, when we look up those who make the laws, pass the laws, it starts with a bill first, and they take it to the legislative branch of government, and they argue, and then if they agree, it becomes a law. But I don't see anybody in the executive branch all the way down to the municipal obeying the laws that they pass. Case law, precedents. Case law, when people refer to case law, it's decisions made by judges in previous cases when people refer to case law. Regulations, rules created by government agencies. We are governed under rules. It seems to me that we're the only ones who are bounded and binded by these rules. It seems to me that we, if we disobey these rules, we break these rules, we are punished. I don't respect any of these legislative branches or executive branches of government. I can't respect them. Too much lawlessness going on, because when someone is above the law, we can't respect it altogether. When there's one person or anyone in this society that is above the law, we cannot respect the United States jurisprudence. No one should be above the law. But when they have secret rules, secret regulations, secret laws that the president of the United States, no matter what he does, no matter what she does, they're above the law, we can't respect that. There's no robbery in a fair exchange, especially when they hold us to these laws. No one should be above the law. As a matter of fact, those who are in government, executive to municipal, should be punished worse when they break the law. They should be punished worse, because to enforce something automatically means that you should be binded by it yourself. Peace to the brother Big Dog Philly OG. Salute, comrade. I don't respect the United States jurisprudence. Now, the examples of law, contract law governs agreements between parties, which is called bipartisan. Tort law covers civil wrongs that cause harm. Criminal law laws against robbery, assault, and fraud. Property law regulates ownership of land and goods. Regulates laws against robbery, fraud, and assault. Now, property law regulates ownership of land and goods. That's one of the ones right there that our people are subjected to this very moment. Because when they redline and when they steal land and they steal goods, they steal patents from our people, that's the property law that they're talking about. Now, the rule of law, greetings to Solar Empress. Thanks for tapping in. I appreciate it. Now, the rule of law, the principle that everyone, including the government, is accountable to the same law. I don't see this. I don't see the rules of law being applied. Because when someone even get a mindset that the rules don't apply to them, they are not under the rule of law. And when someone are made to think that the rule of law don't apply to them, the rule of law doesn't exist. Because the rule of law states that it's the principle that everyone, including the government, is accountable to the same law. Common law system relies on judicial precedents. Federal law versus state law. Different levels of government create their own laws and operate their own court. But we have a constitution. The constitution turned into a damn con. Because if you have a constitution that governs the entire land, no law should supersede the law of the land. I don't understand how that could happen. Take New Jersey, for example. In the Constitution, the Second Amendment, they throw all types of unconstitutional rules into the Second Amendment, and they hinder people from getting purchase permit for a firearm and carriage permit for a firearm. They hinder people. My neighboring state, Pennsylvania, is primarily a open carry state. Primarily. If you go outside of Philadelphia, you can get any gun you want. That's what they call regulating rules and hindrance. Now, we're going to get into the chaos part. Chaos. That's a noun. A state of utter confusion. Example, the blackout caused chaos in the city. That's chaos. A confused mass or mixture. A state of things in which chance is supreme. Not doing something knowing of a surety, chance. That's chaos. The inherent unpredictability in the behavior of a complex natural system such as the atmosphere, boiling water, or the beating of the heart. Examples of chaos is, most case scenario, all of us can attest to this. When the police arrived, the streets was in total chaos. Or more recently, the country has descended into total chaos. economic chaos, and global chaos. Lawlessness, a state of widespread disorder, chaos, and disregard for established rules. That's what we have right now. I'm going to repeat that. Lawlessness, a state of widespread disorder, chaos, and disregard for established rules, authority, or moral laws. The executive branch of government don't even have decorum, no moral laws at all. It manifests as anarchy, rebellion, or criminal behavior, often arising when governments fail or social structures collapse. That's what I see happening. I see the unraveling of a nation. The unraveling of a nation. And it's happening real fast. And it's portrayed in media as a breakdown of society, dystopias. It signifies danger and the reversal of justice. If we don't see this, we're turning a blind eye, or we're not looking. The reversal of justice is the key part in that statement. The reversal of justice. When a government, a president, encourage an insurrection, and then the people who were involved in that insurrection are arrested, tried, convicted, and brought to justice. And then a president comes in, and his first order of business is to pardon those who were involved in a national insurrection. That's a reversal of justice. We had a fraudulent New York official was sentenced to prison. Donald Trump pardoned him after he was sentenced to prison when he defrauded the people of New York. That's a reversal of justice. He's not the only one who did it, but he's not the type who hides. He wants to push that corruption around because he see that corruption as power. You see it as power. Pete Hegseth cared nothing about justice. It's to the point that they changed the name of the Department of Defense to the Department of War. Lets you know their mindset and their sentiment. It's not the Department of Defense, it's the Department of War. When you have someone with egos like that, putting their name on everything, and then people encourage that type of behavior, we have chaos, we have lawlessness. We have chaos, and we have disorder. Without law and order, there's chaos. Period. Now, I'm going to get into the video presentation part of this stream. Now, we're going to go to what I just spoke about, the insurrection. Now, Trump called January 6th, a day of love. That's what he called it. He didn't call it what it was. He called it a day of love.
You can hear it right here. That's me screaming because the guy in the striated sweater thing is reaching underneath my visor and trying to gouge out my eye with his thumb.
The January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol was an act of rioting, looting, and mass political violence. President Trump wants you to believe a different story.
They were there with love in their heart. I call them the J6 hostages. It was a beautiful day.
I pardon J6 people who were assaulted by our government.
On the night of January 6th, when shattered glass and bloodstains were still on the ground and 140 police officers were injured, Trump tweeted, "Remember this day forever." Now he and his administration are trying to reshape how people remember that day.
That's what they do most case scenario. This shouldn't surprise any of us as far as like how they try to reshape and rewrite history. And what's crazy about that is they do it right in our face. Salute to my good brother, my comrade Maybach Mel. Salute, brother. They do it right in our face. They don't, hide how they feel and the fact that they're doing things nefarious and changing history. They don't hide that.
I'm an investigative correspondent at NPR, and I've watched this happen in real time. The government's database of the criminal cases deleted. FBI wanted posters removed. Video evidence disappeared. And then, of course, there's the rioters themselves, pardoned, nearly every single one. January 6th was probably the most filmed crime.
What's crazy about them being pardoned is some of them were rearrested and some of them were killed by police. Some of them were killed by police and some of them were rearrested.
Crime scene in American history, but some footage stands out more than most. It comes from the police body cams of two Washington, D.C. police officers, Daniel Hodges and Michael Fanone. They both experienced some of the most intense violence on January 6th, defending a tunnel into the U.S. Capitol from a mob of armed rioters trying to get inside. So as the president is trying to rewrite the history of what happened to them on tape, I sat down with Hodges and Fanone, and we watched that footage together, beat by beat. Hodges got to the Capitol ground.
Fair use, fair use. This video is courtesy of NPR, fair use.
First. This was not long after Trump had told his followers that they should march to the Capitol, where Congress was set to certify the election. Trump said, "We fight like hell." He also said that people would make their voices heard peacefully and patriotically. But what Hodges saw was neither.
People will file down Constitution Avenue into the Ellipse. They listen to the speakers and Trump telling them to fight. I was listening on the radio to our commander out there getting more and more agitated because things were getting worse and worse over there until eventually he called us as CDU-42 to come back him up at the Capitol.
Okay, that's a good point to, I think, watch the video. So I'll have you put on headphones so you can hear as well.
Yep, so we have arrived at the Capitol grounds. We put on our gear, start forming up into two columns. So it's just, 30 some odd of us surrounded by hundreds of these people who do not mean us well.
What's going on here, boys?
10,000 of them total, I believe, something like that. So we started putting our arms on each other's shoulders, trying not to get separated amid the crowd. That's not something that we've been drilled on. That's just something that we did spontaneously. Here we get attacked. They cut off our formation, so the leadership at the front, I guess, kept going, and then the rest of us got cut off from them, so we stayed behind and started defending ourselves. Someone tried to disarm me of my riot baton, and I was able to retain my weapon.
I still say that if it was a group of our people on the grounds of the Capitol building, it would have been a lot of bloodshed, a lot more bloodshed than it was. Because worse than this happened to us when we have nonviolent protest. When we approach the situation nonviolent, worse happened to us.
It's a sensory overload, like trying to figure out where a potential threat may be. I mean, I know that many of them are armed. And someone, here tries to take my baton again. We wrestle for control, go to the ground. He kicks me in the chest here. And at this point, I'm just completely surrounded, have no one around me. The medical mask I was wearing gets pulled up over my eyes, so I'm blind. And on all fours, I feel like I'm about to just get destroyed. This one guy helps me up.
Hey, what can we do to help you? You guys, no, that ain't gonna happen. How can we get you out of here safely?
This guy is trying to ask me what they can do to help. And I said, leave. And he said, that's not going to happen. So at that point, there's not much more to talk about. And we make our way to the police line where Capitol Police and MPD are holding the line against the assailants. They let us in, and we are able to join the defense proper. At this point, I was hopeful that they would be satisfied with the ground they had taken because they're already breaking the law by being where they are. And
it's crazy.
I was hopeful that would be enough.
And then this is around that same time this man with a camera is filming you and yelling at you.
Yeah.
We're gonna run over you! Do you think your little t-shirt guns are gonna stop this crowd? No! We're going in that building!
Yeah, so he said, do you think you're...
Let me tell you something. I'm for certain this atmosphere would have been a lot more deadly if it was a group of us. I don't think they'll be standing in front of them, especially this guy issuing threats, saying we're going in that building. Guns would have been drawn already. Guns would have definitely been drawn already on us.
Pea shooter guns are going to stop this crowd, meaning that they're willing to get shot to accomplish their goal, to go inside the building and carry out whatever violence they had in mind.
A lot of people who maybe didn't know the context of January 6th would ask, why were there no arrests?
Yeah.
Could you just explain that?
Sure. To make an arrest, they require usually at least.
Now, this is when the bullshit starts. He's trying to justify. He said earlier they were breaking the law. Okay? This same man, this officer said they were breaking the law, and now he's going to try to make an excuse for why there were no arrests. That's why I don't respect the jurisprudence of the United States. And I don't respect and I don't trust crackers. They were not arrested because there were a bunch of damn crackers storming the building.
To officers. And once you have someone under arrest, you are responsible for them. You are responsible for their health and their safety. And you're responsible for transporting them securely to jail, to where they would be processed. I mean, we couldn't guarantee our own health and safety, let alone those of anyone else. And if we were to try to make arrests.
What about that I feared for my life narrative? That's what you use when we're unarmed and complying. That's what you use. But out of all they were doing, this man still didn't fear for his life. But we could be in our vehicle complying with everything that he asked us to do, and that's what they'll say in the courtroom, that they fear for their life. They had people with bear spray, armed people. They had batons. They were storming the building. But he just can't say that, okay, we didn't arrest them because he looked like me.
Us every arrest would require at least one officer leaving the scene, and we needed every single officer we had. So it was not feasible to make any arrests. It would be irresponsible. It would be ineffective to our own defense. It would be dangerous.
Coward to coward. That's what it was. Coward to coward. They were cowards, and the cops, with the authorities, were cowards, because if they would have started laying some of them down, I guarantee that crowd would have dispersed. Start laying some of them down, because in my sentiment, my observation, they would have been justified, but they just didn't do it. It would have been justified. They're protecting the Capitol building, and those people approached that building violently. So they've been justified of laying everybody who was approaching that building violently, laying them down like they do us when we're peacefully protesting.
Dangerous. It was just not possible. Yeah, there's so many of them.
It's nonsense.
And so few of us that, once we lose the line, there's no way of getting it back. So they break through, and it devolves in the West Front. It devolves into a series of pitched battles in between individuals. And I can't commit to an attack on anyone, because once I do,
you don't see none of them barking orders. They scream loud as hell, barking orders at us. You don't see none of them barking orders. They asking them, how can they help? They want to help and all sorts of nonsense.
10 more people are going to come at me. This guy pushes me in the chest, pushing me back. This champ over here thinks the Capitol belongs to him. And here I get pinned against this waist-high wall. You can hear it right here.
The only one who did their job in this situation was the brother who was a police officer who shot the woman and killed her. He the only one who did his job properly, to me. He's the only one who did his job. And then they rewarded her family. She was breaking the law, broke the glass and everything in the Capitol building. She was shot, killed, and they rewarded her family millions of dollars.
That's me screaming because someone with the guy in the striated sweater thing is reaching underneath my visor and trying to gouge out my eye with his thumb, while other people hold me down.
This right here shows me that they do have restraint. They have restraint. When they can be subjected to all this violence, all this disorder, all this chaos, and only one person gets killed, and the people who are injured the most are the cops, this shows that they have restraint. They just don't have it with us. That's it. They don't have it with us.
But I was able to shake them off before any permanent damage was done. But they had already taken the Lower West Terrace at that point. And we couldn't mount an effective defense there. So we started retreating.
It's madness.
Now, at presidential inaugurations, this is the place where presidents typically exit the Capitol. They come out on stage before taking the oath of office. On January 6th, it was a crime scene. Police tried to lock the glass doors to keep the mob out, but it did not stop them.
He's got a weapon in his hand. Hold the line! Hold the line!
A couple dozen of us versus 10,000 of them trying to force their way in. Every time one of us couldn't take it anymore, we fell to the back, and they did the same for them. But we're going to run out of steam a lot sooner than they will, because they have essentially unlimited reinforcements.
So at some point, it becomes your turn towards the front.
Correct. Yeah. As people fall back, I move up until I'm at the front of the formation and trying to keep them out. Once I was at the front of the formation, I tried bracing myself, push against the officers behind us. Unfortunately, once I had done that, the momentum had shifted, and I was.
Look how heavy he's breathing. After the fact, he didn't do his job, and neither did any of them. They allowed this, and they were allowed to actually enter the building. There's no way they would allow us to enter the building. They were all in legislative offices and everything, urinating and defecating and stealing damn computers.
Getting pinned against the metal door frame. Someone with a police shield was on my left, keeping me pinned against it, because the video doesn't really do it justice how much of a sensory overload it was in that tunnel.
And they're yelling, "Join us."
Yeah, a lot of them thought that they would just walk up and say, "We're here to stop the steal," and we'd immediately be best friends and walk into the Capitol hand in hand and arrest Congress or whatever they thought. But it's not the way things turned out. And I could feel getting weaker and weaker, and I was afraid that I might lose consciousness or be killed there.
You were afraid you could be killed?
Oh, sure, yeah. I was unable to help myself. I did the only thing I could do at that point.
There goes that I was afraid for my life thing. They don't sit down and have interviews and talk about how scared they was when they were afraid of their life. When it comes to us, he said right here that he was afraid for his life. He was afraid that he would be killed. If this was a traffic stop, somebody would have died. Killed at a traffic stop, but punk out at a goddamn riot.
At that point, I started calling for help. Thankfully, the officers behind me heard me, and they were able to take enough pressure off my side to pull me out and get me back to the rear.
Great job, Isaac. Good job, right? Good job.
So, yeah, what do you see in your eyes in that moment when you're just
tired, relieved to be.
I know what I see. I see cowardice. That's what I see. Cowardice, a restrained coward. That's what I see. Because he had every right to draw his service weapon and give a warning. And if that warning goes ignored, to use deadly force. That was a time to use deadly force, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Off the front line, just hurting.
Behind the police line, Daniel Hodges took some time to recover from the assaults.
Exactly, my brother, P. Moses. He probably was cocky at his next traffic stop. Cocky as hell.
The rioters in the tunnel and from earlier that day, all at the hands of people Trump now calls patriots. Like many other officers, he still remained at the Capitol until late that night to help police eventually secure the building. But at this point, the violence was far from over. As Hodges was pulled back, Officer Michael Fanone was just arriving at the tunnel. You can see Hodges on Fanone's body cam. Fanone patted him on the shoulder as he came behind the line.
Come on.
Allies of the president have said that Fanone exaggerated the violence on January 6th. Fox News said he deserved an award for acting. One pro-Trump writer, who's been invited to the Trump Justice Department, calls him a crisis actor. But the video from Fanone's body cam, presented in court, tells a different story. See for yourself.
As you're walking down, there are adjacent hallways, and they were filled with injured officers, guys who, under normal circumstances, would have been transported to the hospital. It's just not a scene that I had ever experienced in 20 years of inner city policing. And, you know, I work narcotics. I've seen a few things.
Let's get some fresh faces up front! Fresh faces up front!
And you're about to get your first look at the rioters once you get to the front.
I felt like, hey, you know, I just got here. These guys have been fighting for hours. The least I could do is go to the fucking front line so that somebody who's been there for a couple hours can either go to the back or get relieved or, you know, do something.
Now he's the hero, I guess. I guess he sees himself as a hero. You know, bro, if I was there on that scene, bro, and they was pushing up on me like that, yo, I'd have set it off.
You got the right people!
I remember trying to like appeal to them and I said, like, we have injured officers here. It just seemed to set these guys off. And immediately after that, it's like all hell broke loose and we start into the melee. You're literally living second by second in that moment. You know, I was just fully focused on doing everything that I could do to get these guys the hell out of my way and get them outside. We started, like, we lost, you know, a few feet before we started to somehow just gain traction.
They should have never been allowed to get that far into the building or on the property. If there's a restricted area, which is they had barriers, barricades. I mean, on barricades, they had barriers up, meaning that you're not supposed to cross that. If they would have crossed that, you're subject to arrest. If you get violent, you get laid the hell down. That's it. Peace to my comrade, old dude. Salute, brother. Good to see you. If you cross that barrier, that barricade, and that barricade is up, you are subject to arrest. You decide if you want it to be a regular arrest or a violent arrest. They do it with us. They'd have shot us off that damn wall if we'd have been climbing those walls to get on the Capitol building. It wouldn't have went like this.
And push them back.
Push them back!
I start to get pushed. The momentum of the officers from behind me keeps going forward.
It was at this point that a rioter named Albuquerque Head wrapped his arms around Fanone's neck and pulled him back into the mob on the steps of the Capitol.
I got one! I got officers, what? Get him out of here! Get the fuck out of here!
I'm going to tell you, it got this rowdy and out of hand is because the restraint that the cops had. That's why it got so out of hand, because the cops exercised incredible restraint and decorum with the people who were storming the Capitol building. And it's all because they can't see themselves, even if it's justified, taking down their own people. Even if it's justified. Again, the only one who had the fortitude to do that was a brother who shot the white woman. He only one had the fortitude to do it. Why? Because she came a little too close for comfort after breaking that glass for him. He had to do what he had to do. But her family got millions of dollars for it, though.
This is the first time I realized, you know, how big that crowd was. I mean, it was just, I mean, you see it just like you see it in the photographs of the day. It's just a sea of people and flags, and I mean, just the most surreal, optic imaginable. And
again, everybody arrested was pardoned. Some of them were killed by the police. Some of them were rearrested. We're gonna move on from this, and we're consistent with this situation. But the pardoned January 6th rioters returned their 5th anniversary of this insurrection. They returned to the scene of the crime, to insult to injury. They returned to the scene of the crime. And that's mockery to me.
It has been 5 years since a mob of President Trump's supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol to try to disrupt the certification of the presidential election that he lost. Today, a much smaller but ardent crowd of his supporters returned to the site of the 2021 insurrection, marking the first January 6th since then, with Trump back in the White House and most of those involved now fully pardoned for their actions on that day. White House correspondent Liz Lander spent the day covering the demonstration marking this milestone.
Hundreds of people reenacted parts of a day that ended in violence and bloodshed.
Truth matters to this group.
Followed by the prosecution and then pardoning of more than 1,500 participants.
Officially, this was a memorial event for Ashley Babbitt, the Air Force veteran shot dead while trying to enter through a broken window in the Capitol, and 4 others who were lost that day or in the weeks after, including a police officer.
Babbitt's mother, Mickey Whithoff, spoke to the crowd.
So glad that people are not losing sight of the importance of that day. It's a day Congress let us down and continues to let us down.
Just after 1 p.m., exactly 5 years after President Trump concluded his remarks at the Ellipse, telling protesters to fight like hell, the crowd set off for the Capitol. Among those taking part in the day's events was Enrique Tarrio, the former leader of the Proud Boys, sentenced to 22 years in prison for seditious conspiracy and other charges.
Would you do January 6th over again? I know you weren't here in DC that day, but you were considered one of the masterminds of what happened. Would you do it again?
I would definitely do everything I did again, because I'm not guilty of that crime. Again, I'm sitting here pardoned. If I told you, yes, I did it, I wouldn't face repercussions, but I'd be lying to you.
You were found guilty, though, by a jury of your peers, right?
Well, they're not a jury of my peers. I mean, they had bias, right? They showed bias.
Outside the Capitol, they laid flowers for those who died. Among those commemorating the day was Guy Reffitt and his wife, Nicole. Guy was a member of the militia, the Texas 3 Percenters, seen here in 2021 on the steps of the Capitol being sprayed by police officers. He was the first rioter to go on trial, sentenced to more than 6.5 years in prison for civil disorder, obstruction of an official proceeding, and entering a restricted building with a firearm.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon. Yes. Full pardon.
On the first day of his second term, President Trump pardoned or commuted the sentences of everyone charged, whom he called hostages.
That I didn't really do anything worth what I got convicted of. That 4-year sentence wasn't justifiable. So for going...
The crazy part is Donald Trump wasn't charged with inciting a riot. He should have been, it should have been 35 felonies that he was convicted of. He should have been charged and convicted with inciting a riot, because he told them to go down there and fight like hell. Fight like hell. That's inciting a riot. That's why, again, I don't respect the United States jurisprudence, because the laws are written conveniently for our people. And if someone can break the law, I don't care who it is, what office they have, if they can break the law and don't get held accountable, that's lawlessness, and that's hypocrisy.
And standing on the steps of the Capitol building,
and not going in the building, not breaking anything, not stealing anything.
Not assaulting anyone?
Getting assaulted by police officers that are at the top of the stairs 15 feet away, and then leaving and going home.
Exactly, my brother, old dude. I always stress that, you know, psychological operations, you know, and I'm glad that you put it in its entirety, and that's very intellectually responsible to put the whole word in its entirety, because when people say psyops, I don't like the abbreviation because people use the word out of its context. Psyops, because a psyops can be real or it can be fake. Well, people use the term psyop to mean that we should disregard it because it's fake. No, it doesn't mean that it's fake. It can be real or fake, but it's how it affects the people psychologically. It's a psychological operation, and that's what they try to do. Show us day in and day out the same thing that will affect us psychological, which makes it a psychological operation.
Was I trespassing? I didn't see any barriers when I got there. There was over 100,000 people on the property. Those barriers were nowhere to be seen.
What happened on January 6th became a family affair. Reffitt's wife, Nicole, helped lead today's ceremony.
Today is the day to honor those that died and to celebrate those Americans that stood up.
Guy's arrest and conviction has also caused rifts in his family, including with his son.
It's destroyed my family in a bunch of different ways.
Jackson Reffitt tipped off the FBI about his father's actions and told me while he doesn't regret that difficult decision,
we're scattered and apart, and it's been really hard to reconnect over these years.
Have you spoken with your father since he was released from prison?
I've sent him birthday messages, you know, and Happy Father's Day, but that's a bit about it. The only time I've really talked to him was when I called him in prison, and that was very brief. But even then, it's just been scary. You know, I'm not worried that he's going to, you know, break down my door or strangle me through the phone. It's just a worry that things aren't ever going to get better at this rate.
It's been quite a strain, but like Guy said, you know, we've been able to stay strong, and we're...
Okay, we're going to move on from this, but we're going to stay consistent of lawlessness and disorder, which brings chaos. Now, this is a little dated, but again, those who are charged with enforcing the law, for the most case scenario, are not adherents of those exact laws, those same laws. Now, when someone breaks the law and they are arrested, tried and convicted, and sent to prison, I don't see why or how those who are employed by the prison industrial complex or the police, I don't see how they feel that they're supposed to punish the person. The punishment is being there. But a lot of the correction officers, the police officers, those who are employed by the prison industrial complex feel like they're supposed to punish those who are sentenced to prison. Now we're going to go to New York.
There is growing outrage today over the death of an inmate.
Only demons behave like this. Demons. An unwarranted attack on an inmate who they were transporting from one prison to another in New York. Unwarranted. The man couldn't defend himself because he was handcuffed and shackled. He couldn't defend himself if he wanted to. This is how these wicked demons behave.
In a New York State prison who was brutally beaten by more than a dozen correction officers. Detainee advocates are concerned it's part of a larger culture of violence within the state's correctional system. Laura Barone-Lopez has our look and a warning to our viewers. The video, which we will show only in part, is very disturbing.
Body cam.
Viewers' discretion is advised. I repeat, viewers' discretion is advised.
Footage shows Robert Brooks repeatedly kicked, punched, and choked after arriving at the Marcy Correctional Facility on December 9th. Brooks had been serving a 12-year sentence for an assault in 2017. It is unclear why he was transferred to the Central New York prison. At one point, one officer yanks him by the neck and drops his semi-conscious body on an examination table. The beating lasted roughly 20 minutes. Brooks died the following morning. In a statement, an attorney for the Brooks family said, Mr. Brooks was fatally, violently beaten by a group of officers whose job was to keep him safe. He deserved to live. New York Governor Kathy Hochul has requested the termination of 13 guards and one nurse implicated in the assault. After visiting the facility where Brooks was beaten, Governor Hochul released a statement yesterday.
They really need to start enforcing the rules of engagement and the unbecoming of an officer law or departmental policy, if you would, because it's written in their code of ethics and the departmental policies that an officer is supposed to intervene if an officer even starts talking abusive. That's unbecoming of an officer conduct, even if a cop cuss at you. Not even supposed to cuss at you. But to snatch you out of your car or act unbecoming of a public servant, cops are supposed to check that. Other cops who are on the scene supposed to check that. Now, I've seen it happen. And the only people I've seen do it were female cops. But the male cops snatched them up and abused them.
Saying in part, the system failed Mr. Brooks, and I will not be satisfied until there has been significant culture change. In the aftermath of Brooks's death, community leaders and activists are calling for justice and reform.
Just because individuals are incarcerated doesn't mean that they give up their rights to be human beings.
A 2023 investigation by the Marshall Project in the New York Times found that from 2010 to 2022, New York's Department of Corrections filed 5,642 disciplinary cases against prison staff, but only succeeded in firing 28 officers. 3 of the guards involved in the assault against Brooks were previously accused of beating inmates in a similar manner. As of today, none of the 14 employees.
If the culture goes unchecked, it's going to escalate. 3 officers were previously, they had complaints on them, and they were allowed to stay on the job to eventually do this.
Employees implicated have been charged with wrongdoing. But New York State Attorney General Letitia James promised a full investigation.
Because I have a responsibility and duty to provide the Brooks family, their loved ones, and all New Yorkers with transparency and accountability.
Authorities have not released an official cause of death for Brooks, but according to court documents, the medical examiner's preliminary findings show, quote, concern for asphyxia due to compression of the neck. Robert Brooks was 43 years old. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Laura Barone-Lopez.
We're going to move on from this, and we're going to go to a women's prison where some staff accused of sexual abuse against female prisoners. It's like they think a female who is doing time, she may have her personal indiscretions may have caused her to be, in jail, committing a crime, if you would. But it doesn't mean that she becomes the spoils of or the perk that you have when you come to work, when being a prison officer is a responsibility. You're responsible for the safety of the people there. It's not your job to punish them. Their punishment is being there. Again, but some people, some of these guards feel like they're the law. So that they're the law, not
Behind this barbed wire, some of the country's most high-profile female prisoners are serving their time.
Do you understand?
I do. Women like convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell, Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes, and others, all housed at this federal prison camp in Bryan, Texas, a minimum security lockup nicknamed Club Fed. But some women incarcerated there say its cushy reputation obscures a much darker reality.
There's a very small group that it's Club Fed for.
And for the rest of you?
For the rest of us, it is prison.
An investigation by NBC News and the Marshall Project has uncovered 6 women who say staff members at Bryan pressured them.
they even have status in prison. To some, it's Club Fed. To some, it's a prison. If you have financial status, it's probably Club Fed to you. But if you are there and nobody know who you are and you're not a what you call it, a high profile case, you're going to prison. It becomes Club Fed or it becomes a federal prison, depending on your status, your financial status.
Into unwanted sex acts while they were in prison. 2 more said staff groped or touched them inappropriately. One woman we are calling R to protect her identity, no longer behind bars now, supervised release, and says she fears retaliation. She's asked us to alter her voice.
These people have total control over your life, and so you just let it happen.
R says she had a months-long sexual relationship with a corrections officer at Bryan while incarcerated herself for wire fraud.
I was okay with it at first. I'm a woman in prison. I'm lonely.
Peace, my brother. This morning.
Peace, much love to you, Brother Nasir. So I see you on today, so I said, yeah, let's you know how to rev my buttons on a really good Sunday. So let's see what you got going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go, brother.
Attention from a man there, and so it felt okay.
And then at some point, did it not feel okay?
Yeah, I would say after a few months.
The man R is accusing denies the allegations. 5 others at the prison, though, say their relationship.
If you are in charge of a situation, if you are in authority over someone, it's unethical for you to even engage in some type of relationship with them. She being willing to do it doesn't make it right. It don't make it right. And not only that, where was he at and she at that this even manifested into this type of relationship? The beginnings of this situation had to be inappropriate altogether.
Was an open secret. R says she felt like she couldn't end it.
You just kind of feel like you lost a piece of yourself. It's like I've already.
You want me to stop the video, brother? Just say so, and I'll do so.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Taking, something from inside me.
And did you feel like you could report what was happening?
No, I felt that he was too powerful in that institution for me to report anything.
But somebody did report it. Another corrections officer at Bryan, Ashley Anderson.
I can't have an officer working alongside of me that's breaking major policies. We're talking about sexual abuse.
According to the Bureau of Prisons Code of Conduct, there is never any such thing as consensual sex between employees and inmates. It's also
Exactly what I said. Even if she's willing, you're not supposed to be willing as someone in authority over her. You are going to work.
criminal. In 2003, Congress unanimously passed the Prison Rape. Julia Abate helped draft PREA standards for the Department of Justice.
The systems are there, the policies are there, people know what to do. They choose not to do it.
A 2022 Senate investigation found that BOP employees sexually abused female prisoners in at least 2/3 of the 29 facilities where women were held in the previous decade.
The fear of retaliation is huge, but I feel that major issues are still being swept under the rug.
Anderson says she received complaints about at least 5 staff members that had sexually abused women incarcerated at Bryan.
Is there a culture of sexual misconduct at Bryan?
Yes.
Do you think that women are safe at Bryan?
No. I'm stating the same things, that we have multiple problems.
She says she made multiple reports.
You went to the Bureau of Prisons.
Yes.
You went to the Department of Justice in Washington.
Congress, congressional office, all of it.
Despite her efforts, she watched 2 prisoners who spoke up move to other more restrictive facilities. The reason given in one case, smuggling in contraband vapes.
So help you God. I did.
Over the past 6 months, House Democrats have been investigating reports that Ghislaine Maxwell was being showered with perks at Bryan.
She's enjoyed 5-star treatment.
In a letter to the Attorney General,
Yes, that federal prison became club fed because of who she is, her ties to Jeffrey Epstein. So she's, I mean, come on, they got her. She probably in there organizing, because you know what she do. Know what she do? Probably organizing the officers against the women. So there's no telling when it comes to her.
There's no telling. There's no telling. And it's funny how you're bringing this up, with all of this misconduct of abnormal. We're gonna say just actual behavior that goes on. This stems from the top, and this trickles all the way down here.
Yes, sir. Indeed. Absolutely.
General, they say they also found that alleged instances of sexual abuse at FPC Bryan are numerous, detailed, and substantiated, and that whistleblowers reported that the prison has a regime of silence, fear, intimidation, and retaliation. Bryan passed its last PREA audit in 2023. The Department of Justice told NBC News and the Marshall Project that no prisoners expressed concerns about safety or retaliation in a safety assessment this month. NBC News has not seen that assessment. It has not been released. The DOJ also told us it would work with Congress to, quote, protect the safety of all inmates, security, and staff at federal prisons. The Bureau of Prisons would not comment on the case, but said in a statement, it, quote, takes any allegation of sexual abuse extremely seriously. Bryan's warden said in an email,
that is a template of a statement saying that you take it seriously, but we wouldn't know how serious you're taking it through your actions. If you don't do a damn thing, you're not taking it serious. There's no results that result in the firing and prosecution of guards who's engaging in this behavior. That lets us know how serious you take it.
Email, the prison has a zero tolerance policy towards sexual abuse. The prison employee that are accused sent a letter to NBC News saying the allegations against him are false, writing, these claims have been thoroughly investigated by my employing agency and by the United States Department of Justice Office of the Inspector General, and I have been officially cleared.
Under Pam Bondi, Donald Trump's Attorney General, Mr. Grab him by the, you know what? Mr. Grab him by the, you know what, has a bobblehead of an Attorney General that's going to toe his line. Period.
cleared of any wrongdoing. NBC News confirmed he still works at Bryan. Ashley Anderson does not. She was fired in August. Her termination letter lists.
They fired her for reporting it. They fired her for attempting to do something. You got a benevolent female correction officer. Like I told you, the only people I've seen who intervene when it comes to corruption in a police department that I've seen has been female cops. Even with Dale Holtzclaw, it was a female cop that got him that 237 years, who investigated him, arrested him, and got him 237 years. The only one I've seen do that is female cops.
Multiple reasons, including unprofessional conduct and.
Go ahead, my brother.
Well, with going with that, Brother Nasir, I can see why. They don't let women be in the pulpits and bishops and all of this because they've got more of a heart, I guess, than men. And to think that all of this isn't going on in every state here. This is wherever Bryan jail is. This is all over the United States here.
This is Texas, brother.
Is it Texas?
But of course, yeah, this is Texas over here. Where this situation is happening. But we're gonna move from this. We're gonna go to my neck of the woods, brother. You got officers that were arrested for sexual abuse at a New Jersey prison, a New Jersey women's prison. None of this is surprising to me.
I can't believe they fired her.
Yeah, they fired her.
It's crazy.
I'm here today to announce the criminal indictments against 4 states of New Jersey.
It's not surprising though, bro, that they fired her because it's always some type of retaliatory actions that comes with whistleblowing.
Jersey Department of Corrections officers assigned to the Edna Mahan Women's Prison in Union Township, New Jersey. Senior corrections officers Jason Mays, Anwar Dixon, Brian Ambrose, and Thomas Seguin have been indicted for a total of 26 counts in relation to the sexual abuse of 8 female inmates. Also of note is the recent sentencing of Edna Mahan institutional trade instructor Joel Hirschgap. The Honorable Angela Borkowski sentenced him to 3 years incarceration for official misconduct in relation to a sexual encounter with an inmate. In these cases, the victims were particularly vulnerable as inmates. The corrections officers had complete power and control over every aspect of their lives behind bars. We have in our society a system of punishing those who violate our laws. And when imprisonment is the punishment, it is our corrections officers that must carry out the duty of ensuring the welfare, safety, and security of the inmates. All inmates have a right to be safe within the institutions where we, as a society, demand they be detained. The public trust is violated and everyone is betrayed when a sworn law enforcement officer violates the oath he or she has vowed to uphold. I'm very concerned that we have 4 corrections officer and an institutional instructor that engaged in this activity, and we take it very seriously, and that is why we were motivated to pursue this investigation and to bring these matters to indictment.
House of Nathan, salute, peace. Yeah, I mean, that's most case scenario wherever you go. And it's not surprising to me. Now we're gonna go over to Miami-Dade. You know, these people are charged and they violate trust. It's just most case scenario. It doesn't matter where we go, they violate the trust.
I wonder who ratted those guys out.
A Miami-Dade corrections officer now faces charges nearly 3 years after.
Repeat that, brother.
I wonder who ratted those New Jersey correction officers out.
Well, whoever did, good for them, you know, because that's not their job. It's not their job to go in, because for one, it's a conflict of interest. And when you go in there, you're going to work. That's it. It's a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Even a woman who's willing, you're still supposed to fall back. Period. Supposed to fall back.
Right.
Prosecutors say that he beat up an inmate inside the county jail.
And tonight, NBC6 has obtained exclusive details and videos that shed light on what happened.
NBC6's Christian Colon has a story you'll see only on 6.
Come on, so you can go downstairs.
Video shows a corrections officer pointing a weapon at inmate Spencer Butler through a window inside the Miami-Dade County Pretrial Detention Center. According to this video, it was around 2 a.m. on March 2nd, 2023.
Go ahead, remember that.
Butler is then pulled out of the room by a crowd of officers, upset about getting beat up.
I done got beat already, and y'all see him talking about I'm trying to do something, bro. I've been in cuffs for a long time. When they put his hands on me the first time.
Officers then placed Butler in a shower because he was pepper sprayed.
Sir, do you want to decontaminate? What decontaminate? What? Do you want an opportunity to get the OC spray off of you? If not, I didn't have to get sprayed. I didn't do, sir.
I tell you, they will escalate quick, fast, in a hurry. And they don't even care that they're wearing body cams and there's cameras mounted on the walls. They don't even care. It's just they just feel like the law doesn't apply to them.
While in the shower, Butler again argues about what happened.
You done beat balls and handcuffs. I ain't do nothing to you, bro.
Records show Butler was struck by Officer Myth Louise June on March 1st. Photos obtained by NBC6 show the officer with bloody bruises on his knuckles.
And he probably charged him with assault for hitting his face against his knuckles. That's how they do, bro. That's how they do. And look who did it. Look who did it. It'd be one of us. Probably a goddamn tether anyway.
Opportunity to write a statement about what transpired with you on the elevator with Officer Louis June. I gave you a subject victim statement.
Later, Butler is asked to write down what the officer did to him in the elevator. This is how Butler described it.
AGGRESSIV. EX. I know what you said. EX. CE. SSIVE.
Officer Louise June wasn't charged until January of this year, nearly 3 years later. Miami-Dade Corrections told NBC6 the arrest stems from an investigation into staff misconduct.
And tonight, the officer's attorney tells NBC6 his client should never have been arrested because he acted in self-defense and was attacked by a violent inmate while simply doing his job. Butler is...
Yada, yada, yada. Now we're going to go over to Indiana.
Now, Bro.Nasir, do you remember?
Well, tonight we're getting a closer look at the video just released by the Monroe County Sheriff's Office.
Go ahead, my brother.
Do you remember that case where I guess the father
Shows the
retaliated?
incident that led to a correctional officer getting fired. Rachel Krause.
Go ahead, my brother. Let me run this back.
Where the father retaliated and then I guess got in unalived 2 police officers, and then during the case,
Ohio. There was
Ohio, yeah, right. And then when they went into the elevator, the brother police officer went in the elevator too, just to make sure, like you don't do
I like that.
excessive.
That's that part. That part is dope. You know what I'm saying? I like that part, bro. You know what I'm saying? When he went into that, because the way they was looking at the brother, I forgot his name. When they was looking at the brother in the elevator, they wanted to tune him up.
Oh yeah.
They wanted to tune him up, but the brother stepped in, was like, it's not going down like that.
Right. And this is just giving me the, this case that you just showed, right? Just jogged the memory, but it's letting everyone know, like, this is not a mystery here. Like, they do this.
Oh yeah, exactly, bro. Yeah, and you can't. They expect they want they want to be seen as the law instead of officer of the law.
Yeah,
it's the problem when they're of the law on some Texas nonsense.
Well, tonight we're getting a closer look at the video just released by the Monroe County Sheriff's Office that shows the incident that led to a correctional officer getting fired. Our Rachel Krause breaks down what happens in this video and why it caused the sheriff taking swift action. Now, we do want to warn you that what you're about to see is graphic.
You better take me back to A block.
You're talking about Rodney Hinton Jr. That's his name. Had to look it up because I don't like saying he or she. Rodney Hinton Jr.
Rodney.
I call him the brother who has the spirit of Carl Lee Haley. That's what he had, brother. He had the spirit of Carl Lee Haley. If you don't know who Carl Lee Haley is, watch the movie. What's the name of that movie with Samuel Jackson?
Time to Kill.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Carl Lee Haley, A Time to Kill. That's a spirit he had in him when he avenged his son's death.
Yeah.
Body cam video released by the Monroe County Sheriff's Office shows the moments that led up to a fight inside the jail between an inmate and correctional officers. The officers are trying to move the inmate to a medical observation cell. He doesn't want to go. That's when 4 officers move in.
4, come on.
You see how wicked and evil and demonic these people are, brother? And they would say they were doing this for his own good. They were doing this for his own good. If he says he doesn't want to go to medic, you leave him alone. That's it. And you keep a watchful eye on him. But you don't hurt him under the guise of looking out for him.
And now look, brother, see, look, this news station and whoever is producing this and running this, right, want everyone to see this. The lady said, what I'm about to show you is da 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 da. Like that, this whole image here, and then you have 3 Caucasian officers really going in on a brother who doesn't want to go to the medical thing. This image alone, this insights, like, I'm getting revved up just looking at this. And brother, I don't know. It's just giving me. Look, brother. Whenever I see stuff like this, it's, it does boil my blood here, because it's 3 against 1, and I know there's got to be some type of sedation process you can go through. You don't always have to do the thuggish, ruggish, rough them up, slavery type of deal here.
That's their nature, though, brother. They only know one form of communication. This is their very nature, brother. Now, if you look on a global scale, like Donald Trump feel that he can just threaten. He's been threatening Iran, do this or whatever, talk or whatever. We're going to do this. We're going to obliterate. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. That's their nature. Their nature is violence, bro. And they're quick. They're quick to run out of intelligent argument, bro. They don't know how to argue in the best of manner. They don't know how to negotiate. If you, I mean, a negotiation is a deal that results in a conversation. If you look at how, just say in the industry, how they negotiate deals with artists. The artists do all the work, and who gets the lion's share of that negotiation? Who gets the lion's share?
Yeah. Yeah.
Peace talks. A war was started during peace talks. It lets you know how wicked and evil these people are, bro.
Yeah.
For the next 25 seconds, correctional officers use force as they try to subdue the inmate, eventually pinning him in place. That's when one officer appears to notice his split lip, hitting the inmate again, even after he's been subdued.
Or put your left hand behind your back. You beat me more?
As officers lead the inmate out of his cell, his eye appears swollen shut. Blood drips down his nose.
Damn, y'all gonna break my arm?
As they work to get him into a restrained chair, officers move forward.
I'm not fighting.
Why would they do that when the man is complying? See, I'm gonna tell you this, bro. It's like when they put the duty belt on, they want to use everything on that duty belt, bro. From a taser, if they carry nightsticks, they want to use that. If they carry a gun, they want to use that. And if they got a new toy, they want to see how it works, bro. Or they feel no need to get it. They want to see how everything works. Now, this restraining him, I can understand if he's behaving belligerent, but they escalated this. You can't make a person angry and then ask them why they're angry. You can't do that. But that's what they do.
This is
Mitchell, check these machines.
This whole scene just jogged another memory of how they did the brother in New York.
Yeah, I showed that one. There was I forgot his name, the one who they transferred to Marcy and they just just beat him to death.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And it's wild, man.
Do the straights. Hold on, I'm not fighting. And stop moving. Stop. Here, I'm checking. I can't breathe. I'm getting it. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. You're talking. I can't breathe.
This happened on January 31st, less than 2 weeks ago. In a video sent to 13 News, Sheriff Ruben Marte says he quickly totook action.
I immediately contacted the Monroe County prosecutor and asked.
And that's the crazy part, bro. The crazy part is they don't care that their boss is one of us. And they'll still act like that, bro. They don't even care.
Yeah.
But if I was the sheriff and I had men under my rank and file, I let them know you do some fuck shit, you going down. Period. Yeah. Especially to my people. You're going down. I'm gonna see to it. I'm gonna see to it that you get the maximum penalty for violating the trust of the people.
Yeah, man. This is
actually Indiana State Police.
This is a common theme that I'm noticing. Even my time in the Twin Towers there, I seen what they did to a Mexican dude, totally foul, just because the Mexican dude like mean mugged the sheriff. You know, both of them, and they escorted that dude into a room. That dude didn't come out. The two officers came out smiling, shaking their wrist off, like and it's wild, Joe. And just to hear, man, this is getting me upset. You know what I mean? Because the brother is saying like, okay, look, he busted one of y'all lip out the gate. Okay, it's 3 against 1. He bust one of y'all lip, and then y'all y'all damage him up, and then now she's screaming, "Look, man, y'all gonna break my arm, and now I can't breathe," and y'all still going in on him. Damn.
Yeah, but that's I mean, that's most case scenario when it comes to people who normally wouldn't be so tough and they get a job, and that's why some of them take the job. It's not that they want to be this benevolent officer that wants to make this affect this positive change. You got very little people take the job for that. They'll say that's why they got the job. Because deceptive intelligence is hiding behind a noble principle. And that's what they mostly do. They hide behind noble principles.
Do you think that some of these officers were bullies or victim of bullies in their younger days?
Yeah, probably. And most of them are, you can tell by the vindictiveness and the cowardice that they display while they're on the force, what kind of person they was growing up. And they use the power that they think they have. I call it perceived power. Perceived power, because they only have the power that people allow them to have. Now, when you see one of them, they approach a person and they approach that person with caution, it's their fear, not that person's fear.
Yeah.
Because all of us is not going to be this compliant punk. Some of us going to stand on what we say. Don't run up on me. And if you do, you're going to be subjected to whatever that brother know or whatever that brother has. And a lot of them, they know emphatically that they won't approach nobody without those weapons on. They won't approach nobody. But you see the pipsqueak talking tough because he got a duty belt on full of weapons, and he know he won't approach nobody without those weapons on him.
Yeah.
An independent criminal investigation. My office also conducted our own internal investigation.
Sheriff Marte says he decided to fire one of the corrections officers for failing to de-escalate the situation. He identified the officer as James Mitchell, shown in the video with the split lip.
Although I have only been sheriff for a little more than a month, my goal remains to always ensure the highest level of excellence. I have the backs of all of my employees, but I will not hesitate to hold them accountable if they fail to follow our policies.
Marte says use of force and de-escalation training for all corrections officers is already planned. In this incident, the inmate questioned the use of force multiple times.
Why you putting me in this series?
You assaulted an officer, multiple officers.
I didn't assault none. It was 401.
Okay, that video was hard to watch, as we stated, and we want to know, is there any other?
This part right here, when she said, when she did the disclaimer, is what the brother old dude was talking about when he first came on in the chat. The psychological operation. When they show these type of videos, they want it to affect us psychologically.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not awareness to them. See, me, I'm giving gist to it, and I'm explaining. That's giving us awareness to what goes on, because a lot of our people think that that the government serves us and it's ours. I mean, what really boils my damn blood is when people start referring to this government as ours. It's not ours. Learn to distinguish the soil and the land and all that from the establishment. The two are not the same. This is not our shit. Because to me, I had a hard time getting direct deposit for a while, bro. Because to me, unless it's in my pocket, I felt it wasn't mine. And I like to be in control of what's mine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, be controlling what's mine. I don't do like if when I pay my bills, I pay my bills far as that auto pay, you don't automatically do shit with mine. You wait till I either do it online or I'll call you and do it. All that auto stuff, nah. Only thing I got auto was automobile. That's it. Automobile. Other than that, bro, I don't play that. I'm a controller. Everything that's mine. That's how I like it.
And you know the head, the brother that was speaking about firing this dude. Now, in that clip where they show his lip busted, that look that he gave, it doesn't. You know, maybe I'm looking too deep into it, brother Nasir. You know, but he just gave me this. Hey, man, like why do you got this evilish, sinister look on your face?
What's the name of that movie that Denzel played in, the football movie?
Oh, Remember the Titans.
Yeah, he looks like the white boy.
Hey,
he looks like the white boy in that. He looks a lot like the white boy in that film, bro.
Hey,
the other action that's going to be taken following what happened.
Don't he look like the white boy?
You are look, man, look, you never miss out here, brother Nasir.
Yeah, it's a lot like that white boy.
A lot like it.
Now, as bad as men corrections officers are, when we have women who are correction officers and they are quote unquote a Karen and they want to exercise power over someone, they can be a lot worse and they can escalate a lot fast too, especially when they want to assert themselves. They want to be assertive and they want to prove themselves to either their counterparts or the person they're encountering. Now, as dangerous as being an officer is, a woman can put herself in a very dire predicament with her behavior. She can.
Most
And
definitely.
if she's a woman who doesn't serve in the capacity of a woman, what I mean is a woman who's trying to be a man, she could put herself in grave danger because she could, like a man could never be a woman could never be a man. Can't. And the smallest man, that's why when the sister Clarissa Shields be talking crazy with the men boxers, I'm like, sis, you good when it comes to fighting other women. When you get in there one of them men, you're gonna get pieced up. Period. Hit you to the body, and then it's gonna be over for you. You good when it comes to fighting those women. You probably could beat some of the men, but she be talking crazy as a woman. But I got a video I'm going to show that should have never ended this way. The female guard escalated. She escalated for no reason. As dangerous as the job is already, she escalated it to violence.
Yeah, it's a dangerous job, and you know, no, I'm not knocking all of the correctional agents and the police force and the sheriffs, but what I'm knocking here is that, you know, there's unspoken rules that each department has. That I'm addressing, these unspoken rules that they have amongst themselves, you know, on how to do things. You know, that I'm totally really against it.
The culture.
Yeah, you can say that
That's
too.
the culture. That's the culture as opposed to departmental policy. They're not the same. Police culture and departmental policy are not the same. Because when you get a field training officer or FTO whoever that is going to train you how to be in the field. And if he's not consistent with departmental policy, he's going to teach you how to be a damn rogue. And you may possibly get jammed up or worse if you don't go according to departmental policy. Now, this video here, everything could have been avoided in this, with this video. It's some correction officers and police officer, all they want to do is their job. They don't want to be around nobody that's going to cause them trouble, even a rogue ass cop. They don't want, they sometimes they even hate their damn partner because the way their partner are, and they want to get clear of their partner. Some of them would rather patrol by themselves because partners sometimes taint their credibility. But it's a minority of them that want to go to work, you know what I'm saying, and just go home. They don't want to be involved in all that nonsense. They want to go do their job and go home. And that's the outcast of the rank and file. Salute my brother, old dude. Thank you for coming through, brother. Now, everything in this video could have been avoided. Check it out.
We are with the side. Yeah. Hey, Bama, go. Hey, when you go out there, man, please don't get a white shirt, bro.
The white shirt's
Man,
coming
tell me
over
it's an
here
emergency,
because
bro.
of a shakedown.
It ain't about the shakedown.
Okay,
It ain't, I don't
what's
care.
it
You can do that
about?
every day.
What's it about that?
Come on, like, man, you just woke me up on my seat for no reason.
It's a random
I ain't
shakedown.
get no, I haven't disrespected you. I never had a jet ticket in my life.
Okay, what does that have
It
to
ain't
do
a random
with me?
shakedown.
It is though.
It do
The
got
show hasn't
everything
been
to
shook
do.
down since you guys moved in there.
Come on, you thought a motherfucker was laughing at you earlier. You looked at me and then looked like this, like, come on, man, we all see.
What are you talking about? You need to step off. Go somewhere else.
See, that's the first violation right there. He's talking to her, not disrespecting her, and she escalated. Number one part of escalation is your language. She used profanity, and she's supposed to be the professional here, not him. That's violation, escalation, number one.
Yeah. Even
I don't give a fuck about that tape on the ground. You
escalation number two.
Ooh.
She's cursing and she's raising her voice, drawing attention to the situation. So she escalated the whole entire situation, all because he asked for. He's being vindictive. She woke him up out of his sleep in a shakedown. He asked for a supervisor. A white shirt is a supervisor.
Yeah.
And she's retaliating because he's asking for a white shirt, and she's escalating the situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Like he doesn't want to take orders right now from, like, he's got an issue. He stated the issue. Y'all woke him out of his sleep, disturbing him for no reason. And I think this is where, the conversation here, even I'm looking at this from brother to brother. We have to be very mindful, right, of our tone and diction and these words. Because always be respectful on the mic for sure, and especially when
that's what he's doing, and that's what he's doing. He's trying his best. He's pleading with her, and she's just escalating for no reason. For no reason,
right? Because the moment you start cussing, right, that's and not using the proper English and nouns, verbs, and all of that, this thing can go left real quick. Like I just.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead. My bad.
I'm saying yes, sir. I'm just agreeing with you, bro. You're right. And just check it out, bro.
You need to go somewhere else.
Please stop cussing at me. I'm not cussing at you. Please
go ahead and just cuff up that.
Please stop cussing at me.
And look at this escalating again. Cuff up now. Put your hands behind your back. He's pleading with her. I'm not cussing at you. Please don't cuss at me. I'm respecting you. Don't cuss at me. Well, cuff up then. If that's not escalation, what is escalation?
Yeah, because it sounds like this is. See, I know you, and okay, so I know the brother committed a crime. We understand that. Now that, you know, he's locked up and everything, he's really just trying to have a conversation just to make things make sense. This is what I'm getting from this brother. Like just make things make sense. I'm in here, you know, I'm still a man now. Let's not get it twisted here. I'm a man, and if this was another man he was talking to, he would take the same approach to me. And so this right here, I just don't. You're right about
would have went bad faster, bro. Probably would have went bad faster if it was a man. But being that it's a woman, or he probably the type of brother he just want to do his damn time. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, let me do my time in peace. I'm not going to bother you. You're not going to bother me. But he came to her and asking her, why did you wake me out of my sleep? You just shook us down. I never had, I never was, you know, they never found any contraband in my cell. And this was a retaliatory shakedown. And he asking her why, and she can't take it. She can't take it because he's asking her why, and he's not getting nowhere with her. So he's like, you know what? Give me a white shirt, which is what he's supposed to do. When she asks him for when he asks her for a supervisor, she's supposed to provide that, not say cuff up.
Right, right.
Plus, CR 15 12 West. Good. Cuff up. Turn around.
Please don't do that.
Turn around and cuff up.
Please don't do that.
Turn around and cuff up.
Cuff up for what?
Because you want to see white shirts? They got white shirts instead.
That's the excuse you're using. You want to go see a white shirt? We have white shirts in segregation. Gonna put them in solitary in segregation. The only way you can see a white shirt is if I cuff you and take you to segregation. That's abuse of power and authority. It's escalating.
Turn around.
I'm gonna ask you, please don't
Turn
do that.
around and cuff up. It's the last time I'm going to tell you. It's the last time I'm saying it. Turn around and cuff up.
By now, you've probably seen this clip circulated around social media, but what is the backstory that led to this madness? Inmate Joseph Hunter was incarcerated at the Trumbull County Correctional Institution. He was sentenced for his role in the death of his accomplice, Lamar Allen, in a robbery of express carryout in North Toledo.
He and his friend was doing a robbery. His friend ended up getting killed. They charge him with his friend's death. That's what they do. They charge you with your friend's death, and he's your accomplice. They charge him with death. That's how they do it, bro.
No.
Yeah, that's how he ended up in prison. They charged him with his friend's death. With this was his accomplice. He didn't kill his friend. Somebody, I think the cops killed him, but they charged him with the death instead of the cop.
No.
Yes, sir. That's how they do it, brother.
Joseph Hunter, 26, had been found guilty of involuntary manslaughter, attempted murder, felonious assault, and aggravated robbery, each with gun specifications. The evidence against him was a mosaic of a morning gone wrong. 2 witnesses recounted seeing Hunter fleeing the scene of the carryout, a handgun gripped in his hand. Another witness described a chilling encounter later that day, noting that Hunter showed no reaction, no grief, no shock to the news that his accomplice, Allen, was dead. It had taken police over a month of searching before they finally cornered and arrested him in January. Though Hunter hadn't pulled the trigger that ended Allen's life, the law held him accountable. Under the principle of proximate cause, authorities argued that Allen would still be alive if not for Hunter's criminal actions.
Approximate cause. That means that the proximity. That's crazy, bro.
Faced with this reality, Hunter offered only a brief, defiant claim of innocence. As the judge urged him to use his decades of impending incarceration to seek an education and find a better path, Hunter simply shook his head and smiled. "Smirk all you want," the judge countered, her voice cutting through his defiance. "You obviously haven't listened to guidance your entire life. His attorney, Philip Carlisle, maintained that Hunter was innocent, pleading for a...
The crazy part is these judges, they get so personal. They get so personal. And they're so self-righteous. They self-righteous hypocrites. And then they think the courthouses are theirs, bro. When it's not theirs, the people's court. I've heard judges say that the only important person in opinion in the courtroom is theirs. As a public servant, they say this. And they're terribly mistaken. And they said it to the wrong person.
This is the first time, Bro.Nasir, I've ever heard of that phrase. What is that? Approximately what?
I forgot what the phrase is, but if you in the commission of a crime, you were an accomplice in the commission of a crime, and the cops kill your accomplice, they charge you with his murder, not them.
That makes no damn sense. Look.
That's how they do it, bro. They charge you with his death.
Look, brother. This judge that said you can smile or smirk all you want, right? And then charge this brother with the manslaughter and whatever the hell they charged him with. Look, man. This confirmed to me, man, brothers, we're in captivity. I don't care what anybody tries to tell me. You're in captivity. Yeah, you're free to do what they deem is free to do. But this is captivity, brothers. You know, one wrong move.
Oh, yeah. I mean, definite, because, again, as I stated earlier, the laws are they're made for the people. The people, the legislative branch, the executive branch of law, they don't follow these rules. These rules are for us to keep us in line and to control us. Yeah. That's why I understand when Big Dog Filio G, we refer to these controlled Negroes as law-abiding citizens. I understand that wholeheartedly, and it cracks me up when he say it every time because I know what he's saying. You niggas they controlling you dumb Negroes, man. I understand that.
Yeah.
For a sentence that might one day allow him to return to the community as a changed man. But Judge Cook had seen the video. She spoke of the moment Hunter hesitated during the crime, telling him plainly that the mask on his face and the gun in his hand earned him no respect, only the fear of those around him. Turning her attention to the grieving family of the deceased accomplice, the judge acknowledged the tragedy of choices. She referenced a letter from Alan's father, who wrote that while 2 men were responsible for that day, only one was left with the power to change. This man, who lost his own son, has challenged you to become something different than you appear on that several-minute video and in court, she told Hunter. The mercy Hunter sought was not to be found in the final tally. Judge Cook sentenced him to 10 years each for aggravated robbery and involuntary manslaughter, plus 9 years for attempted murder. With the mandatory 3-year gun specification added, the sentences were ordered to run consecutively, stacking into a 32-year wall of time between Joseph Hunter and the world outside. Little did he know, he would go viral nearly 15 years later. While incarcerated at the Trumbull County Correctional
And this person probably haven't been a correction officer long either, trying to get her reputation, clout chasing, and acting unbecoming of officer. And just check it out.
Institution, Hunter's cell was selected for a search. If you don't know anything about cell searches in jail, they aren't the most pleasant of events. It basically involves the inmates being escorted out of the cell, sometimes in handcuffs, while correctional officers go in and toss everything around, making a huge mess that you then have to go clean up. Sometimes they destroy artwork and personal property in the process. It can lead to confrontation and even claims of discrimination based upon whether the guard likes you or not. That is what Joseph Hunter was complaining about at the start of the video. He wanted to see a white shirt. This is either a lieutenant or captain in a correctional institution, and they are considered high-ranking officers and have authority over regular officers and sergeants. He alleges that his cell was targeted because the 2 female correctional officers were being laughed at, and they believe he was one of the inmates laughing. Joseph Hunter was simply asking to see their supervisor so he could lodge a formal complaint.
So they wanted to prove to him, and they targeted him because they thought he was laughing at them. So they wanted to, this is retaliatory.
What they call a grievance form in prison. The female officer responded by telling him to cuff up and that there were white shirts he could talk to in the hole. Mr. Hunter asked them not to do that, and then all of a sudden, he attacked.
He didn't do anything to deserve to go to segregation, solitary. He did nothing to deserve that, and he didn't attack them. They sprayed him with mace first. Goddamn right, I'm fighting back.
I'll warn you, the following footage has been edited with a graphic warning content label, as I do not want to violate YouTube's rules against.
You know, discretion is advised.
Violent content.
Please don't. Jump up!
De-escalation number 4. Not de-escalation, escalation number 4. She escalated. Spraying somebody with mace is a violent act. She escalated this whole thing. Now, these are 2 women on this one brother. Peace, T. Cortez. Thanks for tapping in, my brother. Salute. These are 2 women. When she escalated the situation by spraying him, they got into a physical, confrontation, and the other female came in to help her, and he did what he did to both of them. That's why I say, for one, these women shouldn't be in a male's prison absent other male prison guards, because this could happen. It can happen real fast if they escalate it, but she escalated this whole situation. It did not have to go like this, but this is what she wanted. She wanted this. She ordered this, so she got served this.
All because the brother wanted the white shirt.
All because he wanted a white shirt to talk, because she was uncooperative. She wasn't listening to his grievance that he was trying to file. He asking them, why are you shaking me down? Why you? Because again, you see how they leave your cell, and then they come and tell you to clean it up after they do all that. You got all your stuff organized, folded, or whatever, however you keep your cell. They come and toss everything, being vindictive, being spiteful, and then tell you to clean it. Who among any of us wouldn't be mad at that? Who among us wouldn't be mad?
I'll be ticked off my damn self. Like, and this is why I probably couldn't do jail time. You know how many times they'll probably have to throw me into the hole? Yeah, and I would have to go through that solitude, abuse, bullshit. So, yeah, all of that. Like that, and this is for me, my father set me straight anyway. He put a fear factor in my system, and I still kind of went against it. But once it hit me, my father's voice in my head and the situation, and I said, yeah, yeah, this is it. I'm done with it. I'm never going back into this thing again.
Yes, sir. I hear that, brother.
After the attack occurred, the footage was posted across social media, and a surprising reaction from the public came about. They demanded that he be found not guilty because the female officer escalated the situation by trying to send him to the hole and then ultimately by pepper spraying him. Thousands of online comments showing support for Joseph and denouncing the attitude and actions of the female guard tell the story of public opinion. And for many, Joseph was being calm and polite, while the female officer did nothing but try and agitate him.
Exactly.
Hundreds of comments and replies stating that she got what she was asking for, and it's her fault. Hunter, who has since been moved to the Ohio State Penitentiary in Youngstown, is still serving his 32-year prison sentence from 2011 and is being held on a $1 million bond for the charges stemming from this assault. A repeat violent offender specification.
So they charge him. You know, he has a $1 million bond for this while serving 30 plus years in prison. So that means that if he does go up before parole, he got this hanging over him because she escalated it. She escalated the situation. Crazy.
And look, Bro.Nasir, man, things have a funny way of working itself out here for a person to go viral.
Yes, sir.
Viral now. Do you know how many inmates don't go viral because of this?
Yeah.
And this gentleman seems like, yeah, he committed a crime, but the penalty they put on him when they shouldn't have.
Exactly. That, you know, what I said earlier. Why do the correction officers feel it's their duty to punish the inmates? It's not your duty to punish the inmates. The punishment is being there. As long as they obey the rules of the facility, you're not supposed to further punish them. Like somebody said in the comments of this video, I bet she called a white shirt next time. Should have called the white shirt when he requested it.
Is an enhancement to a criminal charge, allowing for more severe penalties if the defendant has a history
You're saying, brother?
No, I just had the thought, like, could you imagine being wrongly convicted, like you're innocent, but you get proven guilty and gotta do time. They're checking, they're doing that search in your cell, and then you come out with nothing but respect and then get treated again like, do you know what that does, man? I just can't.
Yeah, on a frustration level, bro. Ooh, they gotta be way up there on a frustration level.
Of certain violent felony convictions. The judge in this case could impose the maximum for these assaults under Ohio state law and add an additional 26 years on top of the 32 years he is currently serving.
You heard that? Add 26 years to his sentence on top of the $1 million.
Oh my gosh, dog.
All because the female officer. Now this can be appealed and probably won. But this is wicked. This is evil. That's why I say lawlessness and disorder. Those who are in from municipal to corrections all the way up to executive branch, they don't care nothing about the law. They don't care nothing about departmental policy and codes of ethics, because their codes of ethics in the Department of Corrections, you're not supposed to behave like she was behaving. She escalated she started with verbal escalation, and then she got physical. Now,
yeah,
I'm not for beating on a woman. I'm not. But she ordered that ass whooping. She ordered that ass whooping. He didn't just jump on her and start beating her. She assaulted him.
Yeah.
He didn't just jump on her and start beating on her. He could have did that because the brother looked like he's strong, and that's a female. It looked like to me this brother just wanted to do his time. That's it. Leave me alone, do my time, and get out. That's all he wanted to do.
Yeah,
No
that's what it seemed like. That's what it seemed like, Bro.Nasir. You absolutely damn right on that. You absolutely right. And I'm gonna put add this thing on here. Okay, so we're gonna, from the presentation, so we've got John Gagan, that went on a 30-year run that abused victims and damaged families and only gets 9 to 10 years. Right, and probably would have got off with good behavior. So that's probably 7 years. And then we have here a brother that just was trying to rob some. He's trying to get money and feed his own and family and all of this, and gets 20-something years.
20-something years added to the 30 you already had, brother.
Wow.
He's serving a sentence of 30 years. And the judge added 26 to the 30 because of the confrontation with the guard. That's additional. That's additional because of this incident, bro.
15 of which he has already served. This case raises some serious questions about mental health behind bars.
Now, the brother was 15 years into his sentence when this incident happened. He already did 15 years and had no record. He had no record. He had a flawless record in jail until this, brother.
Wow.
Never found contraband when they did shakedowns, as he stated, but her vindictiveness caused all that. All of what's going on with this brother, her trying to prove herself, prove that she's a man over a man, is what caused this.
I can look into this even deeper, Bro.Nasir.
De-escalation training for correctional officers.
Brother?
I can look at this even deeper. Like, so he just did his 15 years, and so 15 more to go. That would probably put him roughly around the age. He's probably getting out like in his 50s or 60s.
Now, nah, this happened. This happened recently, 2025. He was 15 years into his sentence. The brother looked a good mid-30s right here.
Yeah. So he's gonna get. So with his sentence here, he's gonna get out in 15. So he's 45, 50 years old, and that you can spend a good 30, 40 years of being outside of jail. This sounds like this is a targeting scheme. Like they targeted this brother.
They targeted him, and he peeped it, and he said why they targeted him, because when they was doing a check, doing their rounds, the female officers was laughed at. So they feel like, well, you know what, you're gonna laugh at me. I'm gonna target you. I'm gonna be vindictive and target you. That's what she did. That's what she did.
Yeah.
Again, being vindictive and spiteful, they shook him down, and he wanted to know why. And she wanted to take him to segregation because of it. She just couldn't call the supervisor and get to the bottom of it. No, she wanted to exercise some type of power over him. That's what it's about, a power trip. She wanted to exercise some type of power over him.
Yeah.
And wanted him to cuff up just to see a supervisor.
And the impact of serving a long prison sentence. A little bit of respect goes a long way, and I can tell you from personal experience, this lady is exactly the type of officer other COs don't want to work with because of her attitude and ability to set inmates off. Most correctional officers are pretty decent people trying to earn a paycheck and just survive the week. But like every group, you have a few assholes.
Exactly. Some of them just want to go to work because they can go home. Because they're in jail too. And just imagine, bro, you headed towards the door with your bag, right? You took everything off, you headed towards the door, and you've been mandated.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? You've been mandated. That means that relief is not showing up and you got to do some more hours after being there that long because they got a certain day. You know what I'm saying? It's like, say, if Friday's your mandate, you walking towards the door and you happy because you about to get off, and then you've been mandated, you got to do overtime because your relief is not showing up.
Wow.
Crazy.
Holes in the bunch that make everyone else look bad. But now I want to know what you think. Should Joseph be held to the full legal standard for his actions, or should some blame be put on correctional officers?
I think all the blame should be on the correction officer. I don't think none of the blame should be on him, because I don't care if he's an inmate. It doesn't give her the right or anybody the right to assault him. And protecting yourself is not a right that someone can give you or take away from you. That's a natural right. That right's natural. I don't care where you at, you got a right to do that. Got a right to do it.
Yeah, yeah. And just the video speaks for itself. Any normal, sane person looking at this video would automatically say, oh, well, yeah, the lady is in the wrong. Cussing, you know, changing the tone and diction, you know, being disrespectful. Yeah, of course.
Exactly. She was disrespectful. She escalated the entire situation. And we are where we at right now because of that. And the brother's paying for it. You know, they didn't put none of the responsibility on her. That's crazy to me. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. And just to think, if that happens inside, and for damn sure, you know, this happens outside, where we would consult with authority with respect, and then it's not reciprocated back, and then, you know, the threats start coming in, and like what don't threaten me.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
yeah. See, this is why I say it's, you know, we're always going to do, you know, we're going to follow our dreams. We're going to achieve our goals. But within achieving these goals, this is captivity.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm going to land this right here, brother. Right here. Got some business to handle, but I thank you for coming up, hanging out with me, brother. And I'm going to end it right here. But lawlessness and disorder is the order of the day in this country. Nobody respects the law. Nobody obeys the law. From the city council person all the way up to the executive branch, presidents, department heads of security, Homeland Security, Department of Defense, is now Department of War. Nobody obeys any laws. I want to thank T. Cortez, Old Dude, P. Moses, Big Dog Philly OG, Maybach, the Solar Empress. I want to thank everybody for coming through. Thank the wife for coming through. I know she's watching, but I want to thank everybody. I want to thank you for joining me, my brother. Until next time, this is The Enemy's Public. I am Brother Nasir. Like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section. Peace.
Giving out instruction. Hey. I just keep it intact. This is a fact, right and exact. I won't step back. Admiration is the feeling that inspires your brain to make you gain self-knowledge, not go insane.